How's it going, everybody? Doing a gum chewing 2024 NHL playoffs preview. I've got some. Somebody wanted me to print out some brackets, so I did fill them in. I'll fill in one where the Islanders win the cup, and then another one where I think more logically. But yeah, I got some Airheads gum. I actually did get some high chew as well. I was asked about high chew. Let me know how this looks. I think this looks better, and it does have a wider scope than my last camera, but I picked up a new webcam from Best Buy today because the other one just kept spazzing out, and I was like, you know what, I need to just do it. So I got this Logitech one. I think it was on sale for 60. Yeah, it was 60 something. It looks visually better than the other one. There's no ring light on it though, like the other one had. But like auto light or whatever the hell it does. I don't know. But anyway, that was this. I'm gonna start off. This will be like the logical bracket, I guess. I'm going to start off in the Eastern Conference here. I probably could have did this with the camera pointing down on it, but whatever. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to start with Washington and Florida. You can see how it auto changes the light. So that could be a little bit to get used to. I mean, Florida, Tampa. Did I say Florida, Washington? Florida, Tampa. Now, a lot of people are saying the Lightning, the Bruins, lost on purpose to avoid playing the Lightning. Instead, they're playing Toronto. Maybe that's true. This is going to be a good series, I think. Florida did win the division. I think Tampa's going to take this one, honestly. I think they're going to win it in 7. Of course, I will be completely wrong on all of these. I think it's going to be a tight series. Tampa still has immense experience, playoff and cup winning experience. Florida went to the cup last year, so they got experience as well. But if the Florida wins the series, I'm going to do this way too. If Florida, I think it's going to be a 7-game series either way. I'll go with the Lightning for the sake of this thing. And I will be wrong probably on most of these. Kucherov hitting 100 assists. They still got that. Stamkos, I didn't realize, had 40 goals. And both teams are immensely talented. They're pretty stacked, actually. A lot of these teams are actually stacked, including these two, Boston and Toronto. Can Toronto get to the second round 2 years in a row? I don't know. It's a tough matchup for them. The problem with Toronto is they're in these teams that typically make the playoffs here. Florida, Tampa, Boston. It's just tough matchups for all of them. They did beat Tampa last year in the first round. Honestly, I'm going to say Boston wins this series in 6. The Bruins are always at, I don't know how they are size-wise now compared to when they had Chara and stuff, but they always come across as a big team. I just think they're going to kind of rough up the Leafs a little bit. Once again, any of these series could probably go either way, most of them at least. But I really think it's going to be Lightning and Bruins in round 2. So the Bruins are going to have to play them. And Toronto's got talent up and down the board. But, and like I said, Toronto still has that hump to get over. They get to the second round last year, so will there be consistency this year? Will they get at least to the second round again and go from there? But they are getting older. Guys like Tavares, Austin Matthews and Marner are fairly young, but So I'm saying Lightning Bruins. Now we'll go to the bottom half of this bracket. Rangers and Capitals. I think the Rangers kind of steamroll the Capitals here. Of course, I'll be wrong. Capitals got in, and you can say the same thing about the Islanders. They both had negative goal differentials. Although the Capitals was like 30-something. I think the Islanders were like 17. Oh, the Islanders, all those overtime and shootout losses, loser points, actually, I thought they were going to hurt the Islanders at the end. They didn't. The Islanders finished in third place. Washington's the second wild card. The Rangers won the President's Trophy, and that usually means you're not winning the Cup. It does have. Last time the Rangers won the Cup, they did win the President's Trophy. Typically, the President's Trophy winner does not win the Cup. I think they're gonna win this series, and I'll go 6. I'm gonna go 5, but hockey's tough, man. You know. I do think the Rangers take this one in 6. They've been getting better goaltending now. Sheskarin, is that how you say his name? Man? He was not that he was doing bad in the beginning of the season, but he really started to pick up the pace. And they're talented. They got Zibanejad, Panarin, Kreider had a nice year. He's getting a little older, but he had a nice year. I don't know how to say the guy's name. Is it Alexis, like, Lafreniere? I don't know. Their number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. He's starting to do better as well. He might have popped 30 goals or very close to it. So all of a sudden he's become a viable option as well. Is he in his like 4th year? So he's a viable option. And they have Trocheck too. They're a pretty deep team actually, the Rangers. I think they're going to take it in 6. They might even do it in 5. Ovechkin did hit 30 goals for the Capitals again. I think he's 42 behind Gretzky, so realistically he won't get it next year, but if he plays the year after, he'll get it. But I do think the Rangers take this one. I think the Capitals take a couple of games. And once again, my predictions don't mean shit. The Capitals can end up sweeping. Who the hell knows? Here we go. Islanders, Hurricanes here. Oh, this is the toughest series, obviously, because I'm an Islander fan, but it's like I want to say the Islanders get over the hump and take them in like 7, but I don't know. I could see this being a 7-game series, honestly. The Islanders played a lot better down the stretch. I think they were 8-0-1 in their last 9 games or some shit. But the problem is the bane for the Islanders is the Hurricanes are like such a similar-minded team. They just have more talent. They're a deeper team as well, you know. The Islanders had 330 goal scorers, which is kind of nuts. But they still were like bottom 10 in goals 4. I'm going to sit here and say, for this bracket, that the Hurricanes win in 7. You know, because if I'll do the other bracket where the Islanders make it, like, you don't win the cup. But honestly, I could see the Islanders winning this series. I could see them getting past the hump and winning a tough 7-game series, but I don't know what the hell I just did right there. I just don't know, and I hope it happens. Obviously, I hope it happens. Like I said, this is just for the sake of this video, too. Honestly, I'm not typically one to like doing the predictions on this because I like to rather just preview the series. So here we've got Rangers, Hurricanes, Lightning, Bruins. Like I said, the Islanders have played a lot better recently, so that hopefully goes to their advantage. Let's go to the Western Conference, and then I'll do the rest on the Eastern Conference side. So Dallas is playing the Wild Card 2, which is the Golden Knights. Of course, people are getting on the Golden Knights for doing similar to what the Lightning did. There's no salary cap in the playoffs, so guys suddenly go on the IR, and then mysteriously are ready to go in the first round. But you can do it because, like I said, these guys, when they're hurt on the IR, or whatever the fuck certain IR it is, their salary doesn't count, and then they come in. More teams should do it, honestly, but whatever. People don't like it, because I think Mark Stone was hurt, and all of a sudden he's back, ready to go. And people just hate Vegas for whatever reason, so I don't personally hate them. And that issue with the salary cap thing doesn't bother me, because all teams could do it if they really wanted to. This is gonna be a tough series, I think. Dallas, I think, was the point getter, right, in the division. So I'm gonna say Dallas actually takes this 1-7. Stars are pretty tight. I just dropped that game considerably because why did this just? That was weird. What the hell? The focus just went weird. The lawn's getting cut across the street now. It's been whatever. Dallas has a lot of talent. I think Dallas takes this 1-7. I don't know a ton about the Western Conference as opposed to the Eastern Conference. Second series here we got is the Jets, Winnipeg Jets versus Colorado Avalanche. This is going to be an interesting series too. A lot of people saying, I don't know why, or maybe I'm just these people I've seen or heard talk about. They think the Jets are going to steamroll them. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Jets had a good year. I think they had the best goaltending in the league. Obviously, McKinnon had, I think he was the second leader in points behind Kucherov. And they have, wasn't it Ratinen? This the other guy had popped 40 for the for Colorado. I don't even know what Winnipeg has anymore. A lot of their guys that I remember are gone. Like Blake Wheeler's not on the team. Patrick Laney has been gone for a little bit. I know they obviously have talent because they had a good year. But I'm going to say Avalanche. I'm going to have a lot of 7-game series here for some reason. This is why I like to just preview the series and not go with the games and know that so-and-so's going to win. I'm going to say Colorado takes that in 7. Once again, most of these series can be flipped, honestly. And now we go down to the second part of the bracket here. We've got Vancouver back in the playoffs with against Nashville Predators. Vancouver had a really nice bounce back year. They weren't that good last year. JT Miller, former Ranger. I didn't realize because I'm like, I'm like looking at stats. I'm like, who's guy had over 100 points? He's like really coming to his own like much later in his career. Like I think he had 90-some points last year. Ever since he got to Vancouver, he was a solid player on the Rangers, but he's like awesome on the Canucks. They got Brock Boeser, Peterson, Quinn Hughes on defense, who ripped it up point-wise as well. I don't even know who's on Nashville anymore. I think Bolivier, the former Islander player, got traded to them from maybe Vancouver, actually. I don't really know. Do they still have Philip Forsberg? I don't know a lot of the Nashville players. But I do think Vancouver's going to take this series in 6. I just think they have too much talent. Last series here in the West for the first round. Oilers versus the Kings. Oilers are like a little bit like the Maple Leafs, although they, with McDavid, they've got past the first round much more than Toronto has recently. But the Kings are that team where, even though they're far removed from their last cup, they still just have that team that could pull an upset out of nowhere, you know. But Edmonton, I think Edmonton overwhelms them, honestly. Obviously, McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman had 50-something goals. I think a lot of people are saying they're more like deflections and stuff. I don't know. I didn't watch them. But hey, it serves a purpose, right? Big body in front of the net, get a lot of deflections. It's what Anders Lee does for the Islanders, but he hasn't done it as well. He didn't do as well this year. They have Evander Kane's on them, right? Somebody else too. They had Nugent Hopkins. They have talent defensively. I think they're a little better defensively than they used to be, but goaltending will always be their kind of undoing if they're not scoring goals. But I don't even know what the Kings have anymore, honestly. Is Kopitar still their dude, their main guy? But I'm going to say the Oilers take it in 6. So we've got Stars, Avalanche, Lightning, Bruins, Rangers, Hurricanes, Canucks, Oilers. Alright, Lightning, Bruins. You know, I'm going to say the Bruins take this series in 6. I think they're going to take them. I think that's going to be a hell of a matchup, but I think the Bruins win it in 6. I think they overwhelm them again. Who they got? Pasternak, Marchand. I don't know a lot of the plays. That's probably getting picked up by the freaking landscapers. Once spring comes, it's game over. I gotta drop that a little more. It's probably still picking it up. I can't win today, that's all I'm saying. The camera was screwing up. There was other noise. Today's a rough day with trying to film. Boo-hoo. I think the Bruins take the Lightning in 6. Now I'm kind of off my game here. Rangers, Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes win this series. In 7. I think they're going to be playing a lot. The Hurricanes are just a tight, good defensive team that just gets it done. I think they beat the Rangers in 7. And so we have Bruins, Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. Now we got Stars and Avalanche over here. I'm going to give the Stars in 6. I don't know why. I'm just picking, right? I think they take it in 6, though. Stars got a lot of talent. I was looking at their team, too. So we'll say Stars. And then Canucks Oilers, battle of 2 Canadian teams here for a chance to play in the conference final. I'm going to say the Oilers take it in 6. I have no 5 sweeps or 5 game series yet. I'm not good with predictions because I always just go with like a higher amount of games played in each series. Same thing, I think the Oilers kind of overwhelm the Canucks and take it in 6. So we got Oilers, Stars, and Bruins and Hurricanes. Here we go. I'll start with the Western Conference this time. I think the Oilers win that series in 5. I'm going to go 5 for this one. Fuck it. Oilers get it together. McDavid gets to his first Cup final. They do well. They're doing well offensive. Their goaltending's competent. And they get there. And I want to say that this is going to be another 7-game series. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hurricanes just play 7-game series throughout. I'm going to say the Bruins beat the Hurricanes in a tight 7-game matchup. Bruins and Oilers. Now we got Oilers and Bruins for the final. This would be an interesting matchup. I think they have pretty good offense. I might even be able to do the next thing. We'll see. Screw it. Canada's getting their first cup since the Canadians in 92-93. They're gonna win in 6, 7. Fuck it. I put the 3, so it's 7 now. They're gonna win 4-3 over the Bruins in the finals. None of this will happen. Maybe if 2 of these series end up being right. The Oilers break through. McDavid gets a cup. Edmonton's going nuts. Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, all these guys. And Canada gets its first cup since 92-93. How many teams do they have represented this year? They got 4 this year. How many do they have total? 7, right? Yeah, because Ottawa, Montreal, and Calgary didn't make it. So there you go. Oilers make it and win it in 7. Alright, let me try to quickly go through this. Okay, Islanders get over the hump in this one, right? They win in 6 over Carolina. The Rangers win in 5 versus Capitals, setting up Islanders Rangers in the second round. The metropolitan area over here. Long Island, upstate New York, the city. Not all of upstate because you have more Buffalo fans further up. Parts of Connecticut, parts of Jersey, the ones that like the Rangers. Everybody's going nuts. Islanders Rangers playoff series. It's been so long. Right? It's a bloodbath. This time Florida wins, but it's still in 7. And Toronto gets out of the second round in this one. also in 7. Leafs, Panthers. Islanders, Rangers. Western Conference. Vegas does it. Their tricks and work. Blah, 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 blah. And they win in 7. Winnipeg Downs. Avalanche in 6. Vancouver still wins in 6. I'm going to say the Oilers still take it, but this time it's in 5. Here we go, Rangers, Islanders. Everybody's going nuts. You think I'm actually going to pick the Rangers to win? No. Can the Rangers easily beat the Islanders? Of course. I think the Islanders could take the Rangers too. They had a tight... The Islanders lost 2 overtime games. The one where they blew multiple leads. They lost straight up pretty badly, and then they won a tight one. But the Islanders do it. And of course it's 7. No matter who wins it, it's 7 for this one. But the Isles do it. Everybody's at each other's throats in the metropolitan area. The Panthers beat the Leafs in 6. And they're back in the conference finals versus the Islanders. Screw it. The Jets win in 5 against Vegas. That probably will not happen, but they're there. Canucks, Oilers. This time the Canucks make the move. They win a tough 7-game series. Now we got Panthers, Islanders, and Jets, and Canucks. So right now we've got another Canadian team getting to the finals. Islanders beat the Panthers in 6 because the Islanders have played them twice in the playoffs and beaten them both times. They beat them back in 15-16 in the first round. The Panthers had a really good year that year too. And then they beat them in the 1920 the COVID year when they did the extra rounds. The Islanders played that like preliminary round against them and beat them. Islanders do it in 6. Holy shit. The Islanders are in the finals. Long Island's going nuts. The Ranger fans are getting nervous because that's what happens if you're a fan of the other team and the other team, the Islanders, the Rangers have a good playoff run. The Rangers do this more often than the Islanders do, obviously. You're like, oh shit, the Rangers can't win, they can't win. Even if I have nothing against the Rangers as a team, but you don't want their fans to be excited. Even though I'm not running into Ranger fans constantly, you'll be talking shit, so it wouldn't matter. And I'll be in North Carolina, so if the Rangers have to win it this year, by the time they win it, I'll be in North Carolina, so that won't matter either. The Jets beat the Canucks in 6. Here's an interesting final. Jets versus Islanders. And the Islanders, they finally get the 5th cup after 40-something years. When was their last cup? 79, 80, 80, 81, 81, 82, 82, 83. Yeah, 40 years, 41 years. The Islanders do it, and they do it in spectacular fashion. They win it in 5 games. Everybody's like, oh my god. How did the Islanders actually do this? Nobody thought they'd get past Carolina, but they somehow did. Gotta have some fun, right? Islanders beat the Jets 4-1. That's going for my heart. I do think the Islanders can beat the Hurricanes. I do think they can take them. It's just gonna be, as nuts as it sounds, that could be their toughest series. If they can actually get past Carolina. Well, if they run to Tampa, that would be as tough. Those are their two, like, the bane of the Islanders playoffs and the Hurricanes and the Lightning. But it is hockey, and pretty much any team can beat any team. The only things I think are a guarantee here, I really do think Vancouver's going to beat Nashville, and I think the Rangers are beating the Capitals. I'm going to say that Edmonton takes the Kings as well. But there is that bracket. Done. 2 brackets. Oilers. Whoops. Oilers and Islanders. That'd be kind of nuts if the Islanders actually won it this year, but I was down in North Carolina and I'm not on the island to go nuts with all the fellow Islander fans around. You're seeing it now too, though, in the neighborhoods. And you'll see it during the year too, but when playoff you'll see a bunch of Ranger flags outside Ranger houses. You'll see Islander flags outside Islander fan houses. So, an Islander Rangers second round series would be crazy for this area. It's because it's a rivalry. Even when either team's bad, it's still a rivalry, and you know that. They always play tougher against your rival, right? So that would be great, honestly, for the area. And maybe the league, too, because you want more rivalries playing the playoffs, right? The Islanders have a rivalry kind of with the Penguins, too. And they have played a bunch in the playoffs. And surprisingly, the Islanders have beaten them in the playoffs a couple of times recently. They beat them in 17-18. They beat them in... No, was it 18? They beat them in 18-19. They beat them in 20-21. They beat them as well. But they don't really, like, the Flyers kind of do. I don't look at the Capitals as a rival, and the Devils are, but not really. I think the Devils are definitely more of the rival with the Rangers. The Islanders and Devils don't have a lot of history in terms of playoff battles. I mean, the Rangers and Islanders don't have much of a history of playoff battles, but they're in the same state, and, you know, it's like little brother Islanders versus big brother Rangers, you know, original six versus the expansion. It doesn't matter, too, because it will always be looked at that, even though they both have the same amount of cups, but the Islanders did it in, like, half the time. But it doesn't matter, you're always, because you were the second team, and you came, you know, it's just a different thing, and it's Long Island versus the city, you know, even though Long Island's better than the city. I can't handle the city, it's too much, even though Long Island is overpopulated as well, so, but anyway. That's just a playoff preview and some fun with the brackets there. Don't take any of that seriously if you're a fan of any of those teams, because anything can happen in the NHL. NHL almost, and football as well. Anything could happen a lot. Those two more than basketball is usually the most predictable. Baseball has upsets as well, but hockey's like hockey. There can be upsets in the first round all the time. Like 8 seeds are beating 1s. Although now it's different because they have wild card 1 and 2. But that worst team could always beat that. It happened last year, right? The Panthers beat the Bruins. It happens all the time in hockey. It doesn't mean shit. It's like Rangers win the President's Trophy. Doesn't mean shit. It means nothing except that you have home ice, but you might be gone and it won't matter anymore for the first round. That's just how it goes. But anyway, just a little fun with a playoff preview for hockey and everything. Thanks for checking this out, and have a good